And his opponent, one of the most storied players in Hearthstone history, please welcome Kolento.
Hey guys. No, hey. Well, they told us, they told us shouldn't wave. I was like, yeah, we shouldn't wave to the audience. Yeah, you shouldn't wave. I was like, okay. I waved second time though. So I banned Warlock, I would have banned Priest, I banned Warlock. I looked at win rates, it was a tough choice, but I think it was like 5% better for me to ban Aggro with Zoo.
Has changed significantly because Jade Druids add a lot more anti-aggro tools. One of them is the new card from Kobolds and Catacombs, Iron.
Okay, I know he's playing Aggro Druid, right? I don't keep Nourish or Blossom.
It's not just that, it's also pairing
I just keep Wild Growth here.
Summons, which also helps pull it out of your deck.
Yeah, perhaps the more important is the.
You don't need Blossom in this matchup. You want to go 2 into Recruit.
Was able to use
That's 100% correct.
Jasper Spellstones very effectively to slow down the aggression.
I was like, fuck, he full capped. I'm screwed. Like, I can beat. I was pretty sure he had like a 1 mana buff in his hand, because that's what you keep in, right?
And certainly considered the underdog against Kolento.
That's right.
Shut up, Kibler.
Doesn't want to get too
Can see fix.
Recognizing that he needs to address the aggressive board, throws away the Nourish, but keeps Wild Growth and Jade Blossom.
I was pretty sure it was okay.
Of the highest win rate cards in Jade Druid.
Yeah, the early ramp does allow Kolento to potentially get out his defensive tools like Jade Behemoth and Spreading Plague, 2 of the cards that really help quite a bit against the small minions that the aggro druid is going to bring to bear. But there is no early removal in Kolento's hand, so SamuelTsao has his options as to what he wants to play on the first turn, along with that Mark of Yashiraj, which we saw Hoy really struggle to land on his minions.
Yeah, blah blah blah. I mean, he does something. Plays 2-1 drops. Alright, so what can I do? I obviously play Wild Growth. Now he does something, blah blah blah. So Mulligan was correct, right? Buffs. Maybe buff wasn't right, like he has no. I was like, he kept Marg, that's weird. So I played Blossom, right? What else? Okay, I could have played Fangel here. That was interesting. So I had Fangel, I had 4 mana, I could have played Fangel. And then my next turn was like Blossom Hero Power or Blossom Wild Growth. Or Blossom and Spellstone. I decided to play this because it curves into a 6 drop, unless if you don't account for top decks, right? I didn't have a swipe, so this Raven, if it's buffed once, my Fangel doesn't do anything already. So I knew he full capped, right? So he had his card still, and I didn't see anything. I mean, it was slightly weird he had Mark of Yashiraj kept, right? Because if you think logically, if you keep Mark of Yashiraj, why would you keep another minion in your hand? Because that's what you're playing every time, right? So I didn't expect that, but Samuel isn't really playing as well, I don't think.
Quite a few of them. Oh, absolutely. And there is only one of them, or actually one Godlento, excuse me, as I think a lot of people have largely looked for Kolento as a guiding compass for a lot of decks. Look at
well, that's funny.
Back then Miracle Rogue in 2014, and now you look at the Kings being Rogue, you know?
Anyway.
Kolento's innovating and really pushing.
Yeah, this is really new. He competed in
to be accordingly.
Blah blah blah, trades goes face. So now top deck swipe, right? So if I had swipe in my hand, Fangel play made sense. Because if I played Fangel, he would have traded, right? If he trades, I can swipe and it kills the Raven, but I didn't have a swipe. Also, I was pretty sure he had a buff in his hand. Now I was thinking, okay, he probably doesn't have it, but he still didn't play this card, right? So it's very likely he has it, and if so, swipe is just so much better than a 6 drop. But I was seriously thinking about, like, is it actually possible for him not to have the good enough hand to go for buff this turn? But it kind of made sense for me to swipe still, because, yeah, I mean, he can top deck it, there is a chance he still has it. If he doesn't have 1 or 2 drops, right? And you don't go for buff, you just make a bigger board and then you buff next turn, it makes all sense in the world, so you have to swipe here.
Because of the
Dire Maul, he could have attacked maybe a little bit differently in the middle there and had a higher attack minion in play because it wouldn't have been vulnerable to the swipe.
That's true, although the Chain of Raven would have probably got sniped a lot earlier. They're the most powerful minion that you can stack in this turn.
I was also thinking of Corridor Creepers, I remember.
Malfurion the Pestilence, so you want to try and stack against the 1/5s.
That's why I was thinking so long, because Swap seemed like an obvious play. It wasn't as great as against Kaido Creeper, but he could have still gotten it on the board, I think, if I would have gone for 3-6. So here I went for 4-drop and Hero Power, again playing around buff. I didn't have a clear read still. Like, if you go for Behemoth, the buff lands, trade is very good as well.
The opportunity to go
onto the board. Kolento knows that just a single
Creepers, he doesn't want to play that here. I think that the Cobalt Scalebane is likely more attractive because draw for Creeper is one of the big problems. It gets run over.
Yeah, Aya doesn't do anything right now because Aya got blocked by the 1-8.
The Wild Growth does go against the entire board. Just ramp 2.
This does allow SamuelTsao to also
anything here. Kolento did
the Jade Druid,
and then yeah, I didn't draw anything. Didn't roll the black. I couldn't do anything there. Now Priest against Rogue, I won this one.
The Priest needs
gonna look again. Just doesn't like anything going on there.
I think that in this particular matchup, Quarter Creeper
He mulliganed Raza away. This tilts me a lot. I lost to this guy. He mulliganed Raza. It's the highest win rate card in the deck. When kept. Even against Rogue. It's the highest win rate card. My god. He gets it back.
I did a double take.
Very surprised by that decision. Raza is
Again, mulligan. Maybe I've screwed up mulligan.
Doesn't like anything going on there. Kolento has Quarter Creeper. Gonna look for.
I didn't keep any of these cards. Firefly is bad because it doesn't do anything. You didn't need to combo stuff early. I had a coin to combo stuff. I didn't keep Wild Spine. Like, keeping Wild Spine against Priest, especially not a Dragon Priest, it's not good, I don't think.
In this particular matchup, Quarter Creeper is not as powerful as it is in some other.
And Shadow Step obviously not good. It's like a high roll card to keep just for the classes. Then against Priest you just need multitude of minions, not just large ones.
He tested specifically.
So Kolento
So here pass, obviously, pass into coin 4 and 7%.
They also can play a long game.
He was taking his time. I felt like he might have a potion, but you know, he might be debating us.
Quite easily. Less powerful at this stage of the
So
game.
I went coin 3-2. I could have gone coin again, and now I was thinking, should I use a dagger or not? I was thinking dagger, like re-dagger and Kelsis is never the play I'm going for, unless I draw a Shadow Step, in which case I should hit him, but it's only 1 damage, right? Even dagger makes a lot of sense, because I don't go for Kelsis in this situation. I go for Kelsis on turn 5 or later, I think, unless I top deck something.
3 of those are already
Rogue versus the Priest, and I think if I'm the Priest, I have to be.
No, he can just play Kazakus, but he decides to go for Pyre, right? I was like, oh, it was Kazakus, okay.
Interesting to see if he proposed useful against all. Someone
for 1.
So far I don't have any read on his hand, he mulliganed everything away. Got some potion, I think maybe 5 deal 4 or something. I got the Shadow Step and I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess Shadow Step makes it more reasonable, right? Go for the Kelsis.
The middle turns, the impact of buffing your future draws is lower because there are fewer of them. Right.
Yeah, I went Kelsis Shadow Step on a 3-2. So you can also debate on this. Should you Shadow Step the Kelsis or should you Shadow Step the 3-2? 3-2 gives you 1 time buffed minions, gives you 2 draws basically, right? When Shadow Step gives you like +1/+1 and it doesn't give you any draws. And you get 1 weapon charge same time. I think it's pretty straightforward that it's better to buff to get the 2 extra draws. You just get more value from it. Game doesn't last so long against Priest to get all the value from the double Kelsis normally. And if it lasts so long, it probably is not even good enough.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Bone Mares and even Kelseth, but Elven Minstrel drawing 2 more cards. Again, he can just go for the resource back.
So has to be.
One thing that I feel like.
No, he has this potion. He goes for Kazakus and
he's waiting for the last second to. And even then, showing
potion. I think his potion was dealing 2 damage AoE. Could have played 1 mana potion and a 4-drop. Went for this instead.
Each of the elements of your deck's combos can take a while. So,
It's like, okay, okay.
you just take that long for each of these decisions. Sometimes you just run into the rope.
Yeah, we talk about health
Not super
or
terrible.
card draw as
So my
resources,
options, I could have hit and play the 4 and 1. Saving the dagger is pretty good here in this case. And that's basically it, right? That's the most logical play, just playing a 4 and 1 in the most tough on board. Could have played a Dark Reaper and a Swashbuckler, but then I lose my activation for like a Vile Spine Slayer or a second Minstrel I could have gotten. There's Raza here, I think.
Potentially afford, and next
Kolento's going to turn
No, I get my
which is,
options.
not just Dragonfire Potion, but also Psychic Scream. That is
I felt like
also
Raza is cut blocked by this taunts, right? So if he is to Dragonfire Potion, it's better to go face and let it trade and do whatever he wants, right? So thinking like, okay, I do it. I probably just dagger then. If I dagger, I can just play a 4-drop, and my Cardinal Creeper will get cheap, and I can play it next turn and maybe like charge my deckhand with Bone Mare. So definitely wasn't playing any deckhand weapon type of plays. Wasn't going for Dark Reaper, deckhand, stuff like that. It was just a 4-drop. Looks also straightforward here.
It's unclear. I think that it is a
commit to an AoE. They would have.
So how it could backfire? I was thinking if I don't develop enough, he cannot AoE, but just trade and heal. But he was at 15, right? And I had Leroy and I had charge from the deckhand. I was thinking, okay, if he doesn't clear fully, I'm totally fine with it. Just let it happen.
doesn't do nearly enough.
I also had a dagger. I could have used a dagger if he goes Alchemy Circle, stuff like that, to deal with 5-1s and 3-1s. The potion was still in my mind, right? Potion. He still had the potion. Could have been 5. It was logical for it to be 5.
A big enough board that he just grinds SamuelTsao.
Yes, he doesn't go for Dragonfire.
He just grinds SamuelTsao out of that removal.
Sam uses a Shadow Word Death.
So I counted damage here. It did seem like I was slightly off. Let's see if I go Bone Mare and then Leroy Deckhand. They both buffed, it's 10 damage. I go Bone Mare and go face, right? He plays Anduin. I was thinking if he has Anduin, what happens, right? He has Anduin, he kills his own Lyra. That's kinda nice. I play Bone Mare, he plays Anduin, he kills his own Lyra, he clears my board. I could have gotten there on a top deck though. If I get like a Shadow Step, I could have killed him through the Anduin. And it was also important to decide if I should hit with dagger or not. I call the bot clear plays, I didn't like them so much, because yeah, that's a Lyra, but it will die from the Anduin, right? And Anduin was his better bot clear.
Well, I mean, speaking of 12 or 13,
What else I could do here? Like Leroy? No. I give him board and chance to heal. I wanted to develop something and go face simultaneously. And I also had 2 Bone Mares, so I kept the dagger as well, because if he goes Anduin, my play was Deckhand and Bone Mare, and go face. And play the Cardo Creeper. And he plays AoE, and I get there with Leroy and the Psy Agent next turn. If he heals, he'll be at 10, right? But 10 is not enough to survive. My Leroy and Deckhand does 10. I didn't need to punch him with weapon.
Even if he just Leroy plus SI's next turn.
Unless his potion was armor.
That's true.
Goes silence, goes potion.
But he needs to heal.
Potion deal 2, draw a card.
Psionic probe.
Sure.
Interesting.
Anything that's
Okay,
cheap.
holy smite.
But he needs to heal.
It's gonna get backstabber shadow step.
This was pretty scary, because if he finds bite and heal, I'm like super likely to lose this one.
It's awkward.
But he roped, he wouldn't even have time to play it.
That's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, that's just
He just smited. He didn't have time, you see? Like, that's what I mean. He's misplaying right now. He just smited. He should have gone for... Why didn't he heal out? If I didn't have lethal with Leroy, I should have poked with dagger, but I did. If he just heals, it was enough.
And I feel like Kolento really understood what he was trying to do at every phase of that game. And he was just
There was a case where he plays armor potion for 4 and doesn't heal. If he goes for 1, but that, I can just not play on that stuff. That potion was picked very early, right? It's very unlikely for it to be armor.
SamuelTsao actually has both copies of Cobalt Scalebane in his deck.
So now, I could have kept... I played Priest against Rogue, right? I could have kept the Blood Hoarder. I don't like it. Like against Rogue, that's too slow. They just poke it with weapon.
not something he's going to keep, but that is a potential very powerful late-game card that can give him a lot of resources. Oh, and there's Prince Keliseth in his opening hand.
Yeah, shiny. As that is going to be quite a fierce double duels.
Burglar on turn. I expect he will not use his coin to coin out Keliseth here because he does have.
He and Samuel, I just go.
You only get like one more draw that gets buffed by the Keliseth, and the 2 days.
I just go pirate.
Isn't really that big of a deal compared to the speed at which you can deploy your other.
Coin for 5 is very important with his hand. And it's okay to skip a 1-1 on the patches.
This is the debate over, do I want to play my Swashbuckler
Early
now?
pirates are very
I
strong
want
against
patches,
priests.
or wait
If
until
they are
after
not answered,
Keliseth is, which would mean that he
he
ends up
passes.
both losing the buff.
I guess it's okay.
Keep missing out on a card draw. Keep missing out on a card draw.
It's one out of.
Oh.
It happens only 1 out of 25 times.
It's so brutal. Well, it's 1 out of 25 the first
I would have
time,
played the
and
pirate.
then there's the next draw.
1 out of 24.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it is higher, but still unlikely. And I mean, that is confirmation bias. That is bias. You're like.
Keliseth, though, that may make up. Keliseth.
So, play 3 drop, that was my only play.
Kind of,
We'll just kill and
Ghost
use
Dagger,
wants to
1 drop, I
just
guess.
get as much pressure
Coin.
as he can
Okay.
right away. But this doesn't really give SamuelTsao
Yes.
particularly strong follow-up
It
to
seemed
this
okay.
turn.
So go Mass Dispel,
Yeah,
silence all
drawing
his crap,
cards, keeping his card
get some
game.
traits.
Unfortunately.
I traded off Keliseth, right?
For him later on in this game,
Because of Shadow Step. I was thinking if you find Shadow Step, those aren't so scary.
Into the 2-2 may look a little bit weird compared to attacking into a 2-3.
And
Shadow Step
I didn't see
on
too much
Keliseth
difference
is great
between
on-
having a 2-2 and a 2-3 on board. If I find Potion of Madness, I can always go Spirit Lash into Potion.
We've got a new plan.
Unfortunately.
In Kolento's hand.
That's how. That is. I can't even imagine.
You can debate what plays win rate better for the win rate, but you can never call it misplay. I mean, I won this game, but maybe I shouldn't watch games I won. But it's okay, I've just shown you guys that I did everything I could for your packs. Just Hearthstone sometimes happens. Played Raza, could have played Kaz. I like Raza because it kind of activates my regeneration spell. I could always clear with Alchemy if something goes wrong, right? So it was my mind.
Damage on the potion. Patches a lot.
Valspine Slayers are going to continue to be stranded until he has another cheap option.
Could have just played the 5. Instead he went for the Pirate. I don't like it. I think 5 was better.
Alright.
Interesting.
So I played the 1. There was no reason not to do it first. I get the Bladed Cultist. There's no reason to play it until I play AoE. Because it will just die. Because eventually I play AoE with my hand.
Primarily, I think for
I just waited for the AoE to happen first. Okay, Kazaku's choices. Transform is normally weak against Rogue, but sometimes it can hit some good targets. 5-5 though is always good, unless they have a Vile Spine. But looking into my hand, I have a Velen, right? So if he Vile Spines my 5-5, he's likely to not have it for the Velen. So I get the 5-5.
For a 5-mana potion with this Kazakus. Looking primarily, I think, for AoE draw.
You can make a case for a lot of these. Summoning 5-5 is the best tempo. Mystic Wool is great if your opponent has like a single.
I also had Alkana, he could Vile Spine.
Even Ice Cap.
Now for AoE, right? That sounds straightforward.
Ice Cap is often very underrated against aggressive decks.
Yeah.
Just to buy time.
Board because SamuelTsao does not have access to the Bone Marrow on 6 mana.
And now SamuelTsao needs to try.
Always keep in mind what life total you are at when you're playing against a Rogue. I was fine at 16 if he just goes face straight up, right?
Kazakus potential. I want to turn.
Alright. Has the option to.
Here's the trades again. I don't like trading.
The Spirit Lash to
He was playing
collect.
around 4 damage AoE. Little does he know I had some stuff. So that was going in my hand.
For the safe play.
So again, plays here Potion and Lash. But I have Velen and Lash, you see? So Velen and Lash is good for later if I somehow don't kill every single threat already. I want to keep those two. I didn't want to go for Potion and Lash. If I could just play Alkana and clear this way, also developing the 3-3 body and a 2-3 bladed cultist behind it.
In this case, looks like Kolento just
Free. And then is playing out.
Also thinking he might Vilespine the Alkani, and if he does it, he doesn't Vilespine the 5-5. If he Vilespines 5-5 as well, well, then I have Velen later.
Kolento had the double Elven Minstrel thanks to the Shadow Step.
Goes Vilespine.
SamuelTsao had this stage of his threat with them, whereas Kolento was
Okay, now I can Feast and Death. But I was thinking he might get some use of Shadow Step if he do it, right? I could Lyra and Death, but this sounds too weak. I was thinking maybe I need to get a bit more value from it. Death by itself is very good. Like later for the Bone Mayor, it would have been useful. Samuel also runs Lichkin, so I want Death for it. My potion does 4 AoE summons 5-5, right? I could Pain and Death, that clears, but potion also clears. I didn't really need AoE with such a good hand, I could just kill everything later. I didn't think he could refill the board very easily. Just having so little cards in hand after so many good threats already gone. Just go for potion, right? Right? Altist saved by me earlier. Allowed me to trade here and clear the board.
Kolento understands that SamuelTsao has a second Vilespine Slayer. Chain gangs look. I mean, SamuelTsao can still do this. One bone marrow about how Rogue can win from this position, and then it just steals one.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, still is in the game. Yeah, but Kolento is just assembling.
So now,
both of the Vilespines are gone.
Yeah.
Which means that Prophet Valen is a very real threat.
yeah, Lyra seems good. It seems better than Priest of the Feast. I didn't really need
You
to.
can remove Lyra, then you have to remove Prophet Valen. Oh my goodness!
Ooh, and with
You see order also. I paint first because I always paint. Because if I don't paint, he can Shadow Step. The paint goes first, not the Binding Heal. Avoided, found Divine Spirit. Won't be able to do it if I went for the Binding Heal first.
Oh man.
Then it was just a beat and he didn't have anything.
Trying to get that nothing left.
It's what, as Kip says, it's
He's
not the
what I love the most about Kolento is really just the disdain he has for so many.
top 16 finishes.
Okay, Mulligan. Druid against Rogue. You want to ramp a little, so I kept Jade Blossom, that's it, right? You don't keep UI, that's too greedy against Rogue, even if you have ramp. Yeah, I don't think I kept Swipe, even so, yeah, I don't think I kept it. It might sound okay to curve into Swipe, but Swipe is normally not doing as much when there's a captain on board. I didn't keep it. So, yep, I think I would still do the same.
Yeah. I think that was the most common answer when we had him in his interview.
It pretty much was.
If you think about it, Swipe doesn't do as much normally. With the Pirates, they're normally a captain as well on board, so Swipe is not done.
Surprisingly strong.
So powerful.
Passes, everything looks good, we go Blossom.
He'll hit the Ironwood Golem because he has Fangel in his hand.
You want to hit Recruit against Rogue, that's pretty good. It's pretty good against Captain as well, hit Recruit. Looking good, what can go wrong? Look at this hand, guys, what can go wrong? Like, I got Ramp, I got Recruit, I have Fangel. I will be one of the questionable plays of my performance.
If not,
he does gonna make it 2.
Okay, here. My idols are 1-1 right now. So if I shuffle, I will get 3-3 idols. If I go idol first with Fangel, or I can do it last and I can shuffle. I will get 3-3 idols, but they will be 5-5s because of Aya. I don't have UI yet, right? So I want to draw UI first, I want to draw the Plague. But 1 mana 5-5 is pretty damn good. It's almost like a card or creeper fully discounted. If I would play this game again, I would have shuffled. But I don't call it as a misplay 100%. It was still tough. Because, yeah, you might say, oh, well, you draw the 1 mana 5-5 is great. But if the 1 mana 5-5 is the only thing you can do, it's not even so good. I felt like I was pretty far ahead. If I draw UI, I win. I just needed the UI. If I draw 1/1s, I can still like lose to Wild Spines, etc.
Last turn when he gained that armor. Right.
Let's keep it in mind.
Able to upgrade it.
This shuffle I could have done.
The Jade Idol here, gonna make it 2/2, and you know, a lot of people are like, well, why didn't you play Jade Idol first and shuffle, or play Fandral first and shuffle into the? That will, you know, be much more impactful than just drawing a 1-cost 3/3. Right.
I hear Kibler explaining it like it's obvious, but I don't think it was.
This is the power turns here from SamuelTsao. He's got the
Easy for SamuelTsao to deal with.
Wild Spine, now I play Aya. Yeah, I'll get 4/4, next idol I'll draw will be 5/5. It'll be basically like 1 mana 5/5. It could be drawing, still drawing, anything else. But keep in mind, every idol I draw, I don't draw something else. So let's say I go like Malfurion here. No. Okay.
I wonder what he's afraid of, because at that point,
so now,
I feel like I'd just rather push the 4 damage and start.
What I can do, I can go Malfurion, right? I can get 1/5s. But it's not as good right now. Why? Because he has Shadow Creeper traits. My goal is to set it up the way he played both backsteps and both SI. So if I set it up the way he doesn't have a board to trade into my poisonous spiders, it's very unlikely for him to find something to deal with poisonous spiders. It has to be a pirate, a deckhand, or a patches, or captain, but captain only kills 1. I felt like I should go for this out and find a good setup for my Malfurion and find the setup for the spiders. What I did here, I armored. Okay, I armored once. Okay, let's see. Armored once. I could armor twice and buff Spellstone twice to kill a 5/5. But what was in my mind? It will die anyway to the poisonous spiders if he goes for Bone Mayor. So in this case, I don't have to kill an 5/5. It's just simply fine to kill a 3/3 instead. And also my hand was pretty bad, so I wanted to draw with Branching Path something. What I do here, I go for Wrath for 1, right? Yeah, Wrath for 1 to start with, and then see. If I get something good, I don't need to draw with Branching Path. So it's a good order. I drew Wild Growth, that's shitty. Alright, now we go Branching Path once and the Spellstone and draw card.
He wanted 1 card and to be able to remove the 3/3.
Very slow start, but his mid game is almost as good as it gets when you have.
You see how is he drawing? Like, just get the Lich King. It seems like a good card to have when you have no other cards in your deck. Yeah, I guess draw it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and you cannot say you would have drawn Idol over Wild Growth because there would have been Idol into Wild Growth. It wouldn't be Idol into Behemoth. Not how Hearthstone works. Let's say I would have had 1 idol right now. Let's say instead of Jade Behemoth, I would have drawn 1 idol, right? So I go Malfurion and I summon a 5/5, right? It's just not good enough. Look at his hand. It wasn't good enough.
You're right, and that's pretty scary. That forces SamuelTsao to deal with these in some way. He's already used both back.
So setup was done very well here, I think. He had no backsteps left. If only thing he had is a Lich King, I was just winning the game on the spot, I think. I mean, I wasn't winning, but I was in a much better spot than I would have been otherwise.
And this shuts down the Lich King play of this deck. And I can even see SamuelTsao choosing not to play Serenite Chain of a spreading play. Also, again,
I don't have much to do right now. Just Behemoth and Hero Power into just. I don't see anything I can do here. You can go 4 and 5 on time, so.
Behemoth push 13 to the face.
I don't think drawing Idol with such a hand was ever enough at any given point of time.
But can push 4 damage. Play a Litter. Yeah. We actually need to upgrade
off one of the minions and then play Oaken Summons.
But here I'm dead unless I find like Plague.
First, so that way you don't draw the Iron Golem. That would be a disaster.
Upgrades twice, you can actually kill.
Yeah, I was thinking of drawing a Spellstone. If I draw Spellstone from Nourish, we've been fine to go Nourish into Recruit.
Well, he
Because I could spellstone the 9/9 and recruit the 3/6 don't. I think it was enough to survive.
Yes, that becomes
He killed the 9/9.
But then I figured out I can also just simply cycle Wild Ghost twice. It's almost as good as playing the Nourish. But it gives me an out of Plague. I was pretty dead there, to be fair, no matter what I do. Now Lich King. Yeah, that was over. Not, I don't think Shuffling Idols would have changed anything there. I don't think it was even a correct play. But it was something you can say is a misplay if you like super critical. But even if the best possible outcome of the draws would have happened in this game, looking at this game, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be enough.
Which looks like he doesn't even have from Group B. Easy long sets, best of 11s, best of 19, best of 172. I'm not even sure anymore. And it goes both ways. Some people say
your big mistake was trying to play Jade deck versus Rogue deck. Do you even know how the tournament works?
If you just armor up and stay out of range,
you have to win a game with every single deck. I had one deck left. Had to play Druid versus his all decks. And you don't choose a line in the matchup. What are you talking about?
Fatigue style. Druid. It means up in easy long sets, best of 11. Jade Druid has gone through.
Alright, Mulligan. I don't like keeping both Nourish because you want to use Nourish for Kajo. But you don't want to ramp into Nourish because it's too slow, they can assemble the board. You're taking too much phase damage from it, right? So I like keeping one Nourish here. I don't like Branching Pass, obviously, nor Behemoth. But one Nourish is good because if you find UI, you can go Nourish for mana and then UI. If you don't find it, you can go for Nourish for cards. It's a very flexible card. 100% sure about keeping it. You might say maybe you should keep both Nourish. But I think it's not correct. Because, as I explained, this board piles up on the priest side if you just go for Nourish into Nourish.
It goes both ways. Some people say Raza Priest has a lot of game against Jade Druid.
Is trying to do. Right. And having open deck lists and
I would have done same again.
This huge
fatigue style where you're just trying to armor up and get out of range of the bird. There's a certain threshold of swing cards yet.
One of the important cards in terms of opening up that range, the extra cards from outside your
Place Acolyte over Glimmerwood. That's a mistake, I think. You want to apply some pressure against Druid, so you want to go for the highest attack minion first.
Kolento draws both of his Ironwood Golems. It's not what you really want.
I could have played Ironwood Golem.
A little bit unfortunate.
Fangel was good. Fangel was very good and 100% to play. Why? Because it threatens the Nourish. I had it in my hand. If he doesn't kill the Fangel with Pain precisely, he needs to silence it. If he silences it, he doesn't silence the eye, etc. But sadly he had it. One card, well played. Nourish always goes for their cards though. But I really liked taking the odds of him not having the pain. So you can go Nourish for cards and mana simultaneously. Here I could Nourish for cards, but I felt like I want to stop this Acolyte from going phase 1 damage per turn.
One of those really powerful armor cards like we were mentioning too. And if he's
actually, I'm not sure what I did here. It's fine here to go for Nourish. Because if I find Behemoth, it's slightly better than going for Ironwood Golem. But Ironwood Golem can trade with Acolyte of Pain if I am to Branching Path for armor. Like, I need to Branching Path for armor to heal Raza if he goes for Raza here. Activating the 3/6 SM time, right?
Which is obviously a great play any point with the
so Golem was slightly better, I think.
It does potentially allow him to set
like if he goes for Raza and I Nourish and I just don't have a board, this Acolyte keeps going to the face and I have to armor and play and kill the Raza, and I can deal with Acolyte again.
So now Kolento can actually just gain the armor. Either player draws or
yes, again armor, kill Raza.
With only a single card.
Absolutely. Now Raza and Indowind, of course, do fantastic against Switzerland, gaining 3. Can I just straight up onto the board? No, without either.
Point, given that Kolento's already gained a bunch of armor and clearly is on that plan. Samuel needs to be looking.
There's some Rince can be done already on his hand. I was thinking about it, but I won't talk about it right now. I'm kind of getting tired of talking.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
So here I had 2 Nourish, right? I just played 1. That's why I don't like 2 Nourish, it's just too much. You just need UI and 1 Nourish, that's what you need against Priest. You don't need 2 Nourish. UI is just always better, you just need to ramp to it. And you need to have it, and have a ramp to it.
saves the
Wait,
coin,
fast
you
enough.
can start armoring up as soon as next turn. And that is going to be
I would have kept
very hard for SamuelTsao.
UI
It
against
could be a
Priest
bad shadow rebrand
if I had it in my
just to
opening
make
hand.
sure that Kolento doesn't run away with just the life gain, because the second
With no ramp at all. Just no ramp, keep UI.
Now, you mentioned Lyre the Sunshard, really important too. So the longer SamuelTsao can hold on to
Now I
this,
think
that'll
if I
be
play
sort of-
Spellstone, I can deal with Lyra.
That'll be his way for fighting back. But
I couldn't play the
even again,
Spellstone.
assuming Anduin within the next 2 or 3 draws. Kolento saves the Spellstone. Gonna probably most likely
Couldn't
use
kill
it
Valen,
for,
couldn't kill Lyra.
the Malfurion combo next turn.
Actually, there's a number of potential hits off of activate cleric. All right, he just wants to push for some of that damage. Interesting.
Throwing the Curious Glimmer Root.
Ooh, nourish.
Wow.
Oh dear, that is an excellent pickup for SamuelTsao. We mentioned how important those resources are. That's a draw 3. And now this is an interesting decision to play the Pyromancer as well, because it does put SamuelTsao in a position that
Here I have 2
playing
plagues. I
spells
was like,
kills
should I go
enemies,
plague?
which can be a little bit awkward if he is.
Malfurion was
trying to
okay, because
drop
technically he shouldn't go
Nourish or
through
to potentially
both
combo with Lyra.
Scarabs if I go
It's also something
Malfurion.
that he can
Wasn't
use
super
to,
likely. Also, if for each spell
combo
he
with
plays, his Pyromancer
the
does
Northern
damage,
Cleric
right?
and potentially draw a lot of cards.
I think I went Malfurion here.
And I think that's what Kolento may have been saving the Spellstone for.
Malfurion
The possibility that Lyra comes onto the board.
and Idol.
He needs a way to answer it definitively. But this also is kind of annoying to deal with.
I figured my plague will be as good as this one this turn, if not better next turn.
So there is some downside of holding on to Priest as long as SamuelTsao has right. But now with the Nourish, it almost doesn't really matter. His own Arcanine Skull
He could,
Priest,
it's
and then
true.
Circle of Healing.
Yeah, he could attack
Now
it.
because he didn't kill Alkana, he
Draws
can't
5
circle
cards.
the...
Which puts
Yeah,
him
it's...
Well, he doesn't have the time to do much else with this animation. This is something we mentioned earlier about SamuelTsao.
Yeah.
Very deliberate player, but with these complicated
Think you on
decks
trade.
that have a lot of significant
And circle.
animation time, you don't necessarily always have the opportunity to take that time.
Giving an extra scarab to him also would have
Does feel like a
enabled
missed
the better
opportunity to
circle
draw
here.
more
I
cards,
wasn't
even
thinking
trade more
about it, but
minions
it's
with limited,
something
so that way you don't overdraw. 'Cause I think what
to
matters
consider, I guess.
more than anything is the card draw at this point, because if your Death Knight is in the bottom 5, you will have a
Oh, and
lot
Black
more
Blossom.
ways
I want to
go
dump my
before you
hand
can
for
have
the
no
UI,
chance
right?
of winning this
I want to
game.
get rid of these cheap cards. It's not the time to armor yet.
More.
Awkward for SamuelTsao.
Well, you still can. You just again,
He's in play, he doesn't.
He also can draw cards. Not so many though.
I think he may run into the rogue here. Right. Faster with these animation times in particular.
Found
It really
freaking
put him on the
Anduin
spot.
online.
You know, we've been talking about Sam's deliberate play. It came back to haunt him there.
now Kolento absolutely needs to start hero powering as much as he can to gain armor. He also has a slight board dominance for the first time.
I went Nourish here, right? I was thinking if I go Branching Path, like Spork or something.
Ramp the Jays will start paying off as well. Kolento gonna dig
But
deeper into
he had
his
30
deck,
life, it
find
was
more ways
reliable.
to shut things off from his
Win
opponent.
condition. Normally you can smog them down sometimes, but to do so you have to do it before they go arouse an Anduin, because they can just use hero power to clear your stuff and then kill his board. You have to
SamuelTsao
armor
ends
up
up 2
afterward.
damage off
You have to
with
armor up when
how
it's too late to go for the
heartbreaking it is.
sword control. What I could have done here? Let's see.
Kolento recognizes
I do these trades and then I go phase. What I could have done, I could have traded the 2-2 into 3-3 and kill Cleric with this package. Or even leave this up. I was thinking there's still a binding heal, so I can't leave up the Cleric. So I want to kill it. Also thinking if it doesn't clear for some reason, I can just go Branching Path. That's probably too optimistic to accept it to happen, right?
the curious.
He would have played around it just by pinging stuff, and he wouldn't let me kill him in such a fashion. What I should have done, maybe, I should have traded the 2-2 into 3-3, Just kill Cleric with my Scarabs. So if he Psychic Screams, it doesn't shuffle the 2/2 into my deck. I think it was a higher win rate play. It's super unobvious though, because you have to calculate odds of him having Psychic Scream in hand already. The benefit of just going face for 2 extra damage or not sucking this in. Also chances of him not having either Psychic Scream or Dragonfire Potion, in which case he can clear and he has to ping your 2/2 and miss damage for doing it. I think it was slightly better to trade though, like win rate wise, if you consider all things.
In fact, if he had a raid elemental, I'd probably start thinking whether or not he had lethal, but doesn't look like that's the case. Whew. That is a lot of bad minions and cards in your deck with the Psychic Scream.
Yeah, the Psychic Scream means that Kolento can now just draw Jade Golem, Scarab, a lot of very low impact cards when he
That's a good Psychic Scream.
full of nothing but Jade Idols and armor gain effects.
What I could also do, I could have not played this Tyrant.
Doesn't look like that's the case.
It will be difficult to get rid of it later. I had to dump my hand for the UI I can draw potentially, so I didn't have much time. You should think about, like, I didn't have much time. I had to draw UI, I had to dump my hand, I had to make stuff going, I had to play the Blossom, or my hand size is too big for UI to be played. I didn't have time to not play these cards and then play them later, because I would have been dead.
On the plus side, Oaken Summons will not pull a minion.
It's true.
Yeah, he's got
Oaken Summons is online.
Yeah. It's not completely useless.
I had someone Psychic Scream me, and then I'm doing just 26 right now, with Prophet Veil and Mind Blast plus Holy Smite. And like you mentioned, if he does find...
Just play... I realized I don't have much. I don't have super high odds of getting my UI anymore, so I wasn't super in rush to get my cards out now since he shuffled all the stuff in. So I just concentrate and get some armor of my hero power.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see SamuelTsao end up going the Lyra route, try and generate resources.
Oh, I guess I was scared of something. Actually, I could have been dead there. He hasn't played many of the 1-mana spells. It was okay because I didn't really. There wasn't really much difference between playing the green elephant and the 4-drop. Yeah, I don't hate it. I think both ways it was fine. If I draw UI this way, I dump more cards from my hand so I can go for UI. I think I would have burned 1 card, so.
This point's a full commit to the board.
So needs to try to ensure that
I like Merchant Path play better than Behemoth.
Damage, because his goal really is to just exhaust SamuelTsao of resources to ensure.
Again, I can't play.
There's no ability for SamuelTsao to just generate enough damage before he runs out of cards.
I just felt like here I could play a taunt and just say, okay, kill my taunts. I'll figure out what to do later. Maybe play Plague. So I just played like a Behemoth and cycle. Yeah, I had to cycle with this Wrath. I was thinking I might need to Spellstone and cycle the Wrath into Velen at some point, but I couldn't really hold these cards. Also, I had a swipe, so I could swipe and play Spellstone against Velen.
Because Kazakus is something that can generate board with his minions. Doubled plus the hero power is just 10
I go swipe.
damage for 1.
Can gain armor. Could have point out the Tyrant.
That is more than enough.
Certainly going to be
Aaron HS. Thank you for sub. 6 months in a row. Welcome back. Yeah, so now I drew this 2/2. And technically, if I would have traded this 2/2, it could have been some sort of armor gain, like an ultimate infestation. I don't think UI was enough there, so I had to UI and coin out the Spellstone to kill the guy, and I think it was still not enough armor to survive.
It was the right choice instead of going for a huge greed value play with 10 mana.
You see, it was -2, so I didn't have enough No matter what I do there, it was a loss.
Well played.
This Batman.
And that's why he knew entire
Every time you're
six always might because he's a one-man potion for burst, but let's see what he draws. Draws 3 damage, that's what you want.
also known as Pyroblast.
His hand was insane in this game. My hand sucked balls.
Yeah, so the Kazakus potion paired with Radiant Elemental and Velen